Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the sixth episode of uh, not Dark Souls, the Elder Scrolls. I see that I need to change the title. Great start. How would you take it over for a second, Tom? Welcome. I'm Lyriander, and Tom is with me.
Hey guys, how's it going?
We're starting off
Yeah, we're
great.
starting.
Hold up, I haven't changed the title, but that's okay. Episode. Wait. Daedric Podcast. You can't start playing the thing just yet. Hold on. Daedric Podcast episode 6. Just leave it like that. Hold on. The Elder Scrolls. There you go.
Slight technical difficulties. I
Slide.
don't know what you're talking about.
Done. Alright. Let's give you something to look at. Yes. Oh, whoops.
Oh shit.
There we go. Yes. We have visual. Alright.
Yay!
As you can see, today we'll be talking about Maik the Liar for a long part, and we will talk about our predictions for Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
And as you can see, like,
And Mike is right now on the screen.
is there it's supposed to be no sound for you? Because I can't hear any sound right coming from you right now.
From me, like from the person?
No,
Like
from the video. From the video.
Oh, from the game.
Yeah, you should probably
There's
fix that.
supposed to be sound coming from the video.
Yes, that would be nice. Well, we don't have to. I mean, we
Yeah,
can just
because
talk enough.
I hear it twice. So
Okay, I don't hear any. I don't hear zero. See, more technical difficulties.
yes.
All right.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh well, we'll just have to talk more, I guess.
Yeah. So for today's topic, we have chosen Mike Dalaya.
Yes, a fun character.
Yeah, he is a reoccurring character throughout the Elder Scrolls series. He started in Morrowind. He made a cameo in Oblivion, as you see on my screen, and he is present in Skyrim, and
And
of course, not
Elder
Oblivion,
Scrolls Online.
online.
Yes, online.
Yes,
Which is something we made a mistake last time. We said he appeared in 3 games. He's in 4 games actually.
yes.
That's nice. So yeah, we the dialogue he has because he has all these different like every time you talk to him he has something to say relating to the game, the world, and like it's like a little thing for the developers to have like all these little Easter eggs that he talks about, like things that happen in the forums, things that people have complained about in previous games, that sort of thing.
Uh, Sometimes he talks about inconsistencies in the lore. He talks about some of the controversies regarding the games or the features that the developers promised that were never introduced.
Yes, exactly. So we will go through the dialogue lines and we will talk about each one of them. And
Yeah.
we'll start with the first line
From
from
Morrowind,
Morrowind.
right?
Morrowind, yes. So I'll try to do the voice a bit because he has a fun voice as well. Here we go. Greetings. Maik knows many things. What is your interest? You seek knowledge? Maik has much. Some of it verified by actual facts.
Um, Mike is, as shown here, he is an unending reservoir of knowledge. He is the avatar of Hermes Mora.
Oh, really? Hermes Mora.
No, but I know that many people think that he is either like Shiogorab or
Hello.
Herman Mora. Is like Shiogorab fucking with the player, or
Yeah.
Herman Mora just doing what he does.
Or it's just a Khajiit, Khajiits
Or
are
it's
pretty
just a
crazy.
Khajiit that took way too much skooma and is running at the supersonic speeds
Yeah, oh
around
god.
Tamriel.
Did you already, like you said you were gonna put back your video of your recording?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you
right.
should do
I'm
that.
gonna put it on the beginning.
What are our well salesmen? We're gonna be talking about Maik. That's our wares for today.
Yeah. Um.
So
So the
yeah,
next line.
yes,
In more these are the lines from Morrowind,
yes.
and in Morrowind, he mainly talks about features that were promised and never actually
Showed up.
introduced.
Yes.
The next line is about becoming a lich. You wish to become a lich? It's very easy, my friend. Simply find the heart of a lich, combine it with the tongue of the dragon, and cook it with the flesh of a well-ridden horse. This combination is certain to make you undead. So none of these three things are actually obtainable in Morrowind. Liches are not in the game at all
Not in
until
vanilla. Yeah. It's
yeah,
in
but
the
now they're
in
introduced in Tribunal as enemies, but they do not drop any hearts. Dragons also not in Morrowind, and horses in in Morrowind.
no in a Morrowind there are no horses. That is
But there's meat of a horse. There's horse meat, like
yes.
actual, like only the food.
Yes, which we'll get in a few lines.
Speaking of dragons,
Yes, dragons. Oh, they are everywhere. You must fly very high to see most of them, though. The ones nearer the ground are very hard to see, being invisible. So
yeah,
yeah, in on the Bethesda forums, their official forums, people love the idea of having dragons in the Elder Scrolls games, but they never showed up. Well, in Daggerfall, I think, or no, in Redguard, there was one dragon,
yeah, there was
uh,
one dragon. Yeah.
and they wanted more dragons, and unfortunately, this one also doesn't have dragons. But Maik says like they are there, just very
Yeah.
very high or invisible.
There are not many like large-scale enemies in the previous games, apart from, of course, Skyrim,
Oh yeah.
but while the dragons were introduced, and they play a major role in the main series
Hmm.
and the main quest line.
Yes. Like I think the biggest enemy that you technically face in Oblivion is Maroon's Dagon, and you don't really fight him. He's
Yeah,
just there.
it's a background thing.
Yeah. Well, no. Actually, you can fight him, and if you use the console commands to kill him, it's hilarious. He
Yeah,
becomes he
he
becomes
like
deflated.
melts,
Yeah,
right?
he becomes deflated like a balloon.
So
uh,
next up, emperor crabs. Maik sees lots of them in the ocean. Maik knows you'll see one too if you swim far enough. I have no fucking idea. Oh,
yeah, no,
emperor
like
crabs.
in the
Those are the things that
they're basically
uh
oversized mud crabs. That's all it is.
yeah, but
And I do believe
on
that in the forums they claimed that they were going to introduce these emperor crabs, perhaps.
yeah, because
Uh,
some of the locals make houses from their shells since they're so
yes,
big.
yes, and in let's see, in in the manor district of House Redoran in Morrowind, you can actually find the shell of a emperor crab that is very dead
Uh,
for very long, but you can't encounter them in game, unfortunately.
and it is if you ever saw the what are they called, the assassins in
The Morag Town,
yeah,
Tom,
Moratong, their armor is made from chitin or
yeah,
chitin, and
Chitin,
this is
whatever.
very chitin. It's not chitin, come on.
I mean, you
Is
never
it?
know. It could be.
Yeah, it's that's a normal English word. That's not Elder Scrolls thing.
Well, technically, chitin is an English. That's like an actual English word. I think it's the name for the shell that, basically the
It's
exoskeleton that some insects have.
yeah, I know.
It's made out of chitin. Yeah. Well, that is
That's
what it's
why it's
referencing. So.
yeah. So next up, horses.
Ah yes. Horses. Oh, Maik loves horses, especially with good cream sauce. And there's a second line. Uh, you would wish to ride upon a beast? There is a way. Go to one of the many strider ports and pay your fee. You wished one for personal use? Bah! Walk if you must, run if you are chased. And that is a reference to like, first of all, there are no horses in Morrowind, and second of all, in the lore, in like one of the books, it is stated that the Empire did not introduce horses to the Morrowind province because the
Fucking
Dunmer are
hate
known
them.
to make dishes with horses.
Yeah, they just ate them.
Yeah, like oh, like
And
delicious dish.
Mike also likes them with cream sauce.
Yes,
So
some cream sauce.
um, next up, moving corpses. Moving corpses. This sounds frightening to Mike. The undead are nothing to be toyed with.
This is actually less of a like thing that they didn't. There are there are skeletons, there are liches, ghosts, but and like there's bone walkers in Morrowind as well, but they're not really, they don't really
Zombies.
look as much like corpses. So there's no zombies in this game. I think that's what
Of
it's
course.
mostly
Yeah,
referencing.
also it
But
could be referencing to how in Skyrim you can actually resurrect corpses. Necromancy doesn't work, that you summon skeletons or zombies from thin air. You
hmm,
actually have to find a dead being and resurrect it.
yes, and
And
then
that this is
more yeah.
supposed to be like the intended way necromancy works, but in Morrowind and Oblivion, they had to make it gameplay wise to be the summoning from thin air, because
Yeah, yeah.
resurrecting something and putting it on your side would be technologically in that time technologically unachievable.
As for your question, Mahik is a character in the game in the Elder Scrolls games that shows up several times. It's a Khajiit, a cat, basically, who runs around and has all these Easter eggs and like things that discuss. And we are going through the lines right
Yes.
now. Yeah.
And if you have Oblivion, your PC would absolutely run it. This game is old as hell.
He has an old PC, old laptop, so who
Yeah,
knows? It should. It's a game from 2004, I think, so it should be fine.
yeah. If you can run Half-Life, you can absolutely run this.
Yeah, maybe have to lower the
Like,
quality a bit, but Spellforce. Oh yeah, no, that's also. I don't know. I think both of them can run. I haven't tried it in a long time. um, let's see.
next will
Right.
be
Next one, the multiplayer.
yeah.
Uh, Maik does not know this word. You wish others to help you in your quest? Coward! If you must, search for the Argonian Imlit, or perhaps the Big Nord, Rolf the Uber. They will certainly wish to join you.
uh,
Yeah, you could. So those two characters that he names, Argonian Imlit, and Rolf the Uber, are they don't exist, first of all, and second of all, the last names of both of them are references to internet terms that were more common back in those days:
and
lead
Uber,
speech, and
Uber,
Uber.
yeah, Uber.
Oh god, that takes me back.
Yeah, lead was a speech, right? And
Yeah,
Uber,
lead speech,
yeah,
and Uber is just like it was like uh,
yeah,
a way to make your terms more powerful, I guess. Like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
uber
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and all of this is referencing that multiplayer was always a relevant
Also,
topic when it
yeah,
comes
like
to
people,
the
yeah,
Elder Scrolls games.
people
Um,
wanted it, but they
some
didn't.
people want it, some people absolutely go like, "Oh, we don't want this." It's similar, very similar to the voiced protagonist.
Yeah, ID for yeah, they
Yeah,
implemented that in Fallout, and then, some
yeah,
people
in
love it,
Fallout
some people
4,
hate it.
I actually fucking loved it.
Yeah, it gives some character, but it does take away the part of like role playing to a certain degree because it's not you like that's
Mm.
playing. It's
The
it's
thing
it.
is that in the Elder Scrolls games, your character is completely custom.
Yeah,
But
you get
in
more
the
of a.
Fallout games, they have a past, and you can choose their path, but they're still human, and
Hmm,
they're still people, you know?
yeah.
Like,
Also, if you think that the Khajiit in Oblivion look bad, I mean, you clearly haven't seen them in the older games because they're a huge improvement in Oblivion. Um, but yeah, there's like artistic, like they weren't capable of making him look prettier. And also, like that's a very hard game to run on your computer, absolutely.
and then not only in Oblivion,
Like
in
they
Morrowind,
went, yeah, like they went through a lot of changes for earlier games. Like
Absolutely.
after like Skyrim had a good like basis, and then when they created Elder Scrolls Online, they didn't change that much.
Mhm. But in Morrowind and the previous games, Khajiit were actually very different. They had different anatomy, especially the
Yeah,
feet. They
yeah,
had the classic cat
Get
backward
like yeah,
knees.
yes, exactly, and that like we explained in one of the previous podcasts, it's due to them being a specific race of Khajiit,
Yes,
like the ones in
there are
Morrowind.
different strains of Khajiit. Mike alternates between all of them.
Yeah, he just does what he wants. All right,
So
next.
next up,
Yes,
Dwemer.
yes.
Dwemer, there is no mystery. Mike knows all. The dwarves were here, and now they are not. They were very short folk. Or perhaps they were not. It all depends on your perspective. I'm sure they thought they were about the right height.
Yes, because they are called. Oh, wait, it's technically a different strain. It's basically like, how do you explain that? You know how like dogs, like they're all dogs, but like there's different breeds. Basically, it's like that.
Yeah.
Um, what? Yeah, about the Dwemer. A lot. They're often called dwarves, and that gives the image that they're small. But that's actually due to the fact that the first race they encountered were the giants, and two giants, they obviously look small. That's where they got the name from. But in reality, they might have actually been average sized.
There, some sort,
It's
only
hard to
giants.
yeah
They're told to be smaller or
yeah
than the
there's
average
like
dog.
different sources basically.
Yes, yes,
So
because
maybe
a lot of the sources that come, a lot of the info about the Dwemer actually comes from giants. Like normal people talk to giants about the Dwemer because they somehow remember them, which I don't know how.
they're very
But
old.
the yeah, the giants actually describe the Dwemer as tiny folk because the giants are, giants.
Yeah, everything's small.
Everything is small for them. Yeah.
All right, next. Oh, that's a good one. So we talked about liches before, but now he has a different option about naked liches. A horrible thing indeed. If you see one, let Maik know. Maik wants to make sure to look in the other direction.
Uh, Nudity is a thing that was very present in the older
Oh
games
yeah, in
like
Daggerfall,
Arena and
yeah.
Daggerfall, especially in Daggerfall. Um,
And
some people.
technically, that's actually a funny thing. Like the well, it's actually that's I'll save that for the next line. It's about nudity as well. Oh, actually, we're just
Question: in Skyrim, the dwarves have died off. So my question is,
mm,
where
okay.
where are
In the
those?
prequels,
So
first of all, they didn't die. They just all disappeared. You should watch our previous or listen to our previous podcast, which is all about the Dwemer
yes,
and Falmer. We explain it in detail. But long story short, they did an experiment that went wrong, and their entire race all over Mundus just disappeared in one go. They didn't appear themselves all that much. Only in Morrowind you will find some ghosts in their shape, and there's technically one Dwemer still living.
but
Uh,
he is a husk of the race. He
yeah,
is
yeah,
not an ideal like
yeah. Basically,
representative. He
he's
is just
he's he's obese, has lost his legs, and he has a strong disease that makes him look
yeah.
very sickly. So
He is not. He's not the ideal
no, he's not like the best representative.
specimen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
So
not the best
technically, in
specimen.
Morrowind, they do appear, but
Yeah,
in the older
the
games,
ghosts are
yeah,
just transparent versions of the actual model.
yeah,
And if you just Google it, like Duemer with two M's, on the wiki you will see the ghost and just um, they're the transparent model. They were somewhat shorter in the stature, had dark skin and full beards.
yes. Unlike
And
most elves.
they are a type of elves that
Yes.
lived in the
First
era. And
era, yeah.
about the
They,
prequel,
yeah,
it
yeah.
is very possible that if there was a game in the Elder Scrolls universe set in the distant past,
Yeah, they could appear.
they could absolutely make a cameo. I don't think Bethesda
No,
would ever make them a playable race, though.
no, definitely not playable.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, I'll just go to the next
we are speaking
line.
about the nudity. Yeah.
Yes. How about you
Uh,
read the next line about nudity?
yeah. The beauty of the naked form. These Dunmer are rather prudish, are they not? Of course, there is an island you can reach filled with wonderful, naked, glistening bodies. It only appears if the moons are full, the rain falls, the seas run red, and it's Mike's birthday.
So, in combination with the previous one, I can say that so in Daggerfall and Arena, you can take if you take off all your clothes of your character, they are naked. But even more so in Morrowind, there's technically two. Okay, so like there's one person who has a Khajiit slave, which is supposedly naked, but it's still wearing a loincloth, and it's like stated that he is naked. And then there's another character who the author of the Lusty Argonian Maid, who actually has a quest for the main quest line where you have to get his favor, and one of the things you have to do is you have to strip naked. So I think Morrowind is the last one where they really want you they wanted to like finish off the whole nudity thing.
Yeah. Also in Oblivion, there are hidden textures for boobies.
Yes, and some people were very upset about that.
Yeah, because God forbid a video game that's 18 plus have titties in them.
God forbid something is realistic, you know.
Yeah, you can chop off a dude's head, but a nipple in a 3D nipple in a video game. Oh no.
No, no, yeah. Uh,
Yeah. I
maybe,
actually
yeah.
this is Morrowind has nudity. Let me see. Yeah. I would actually prefer it if, to a degree, there was a nudity in Elder Scrolls 6. Not like if your character strips down, they're naked,
No,
but like for enemies, like
I mean, like here's the thing: like nudity should be like if they include in the game, they should not like sexualize it per se. It's just like it's
not
there.
sexualize it. Look at how Witcher 3 does it.
Oh yeah, like
There are
it's there, but no, yeah,
there are female monsters like that take the form of a female human, and they use their nudity as a weapon.
yeah, distraction, that sort of thing.
Yeah, fire from titties. No, I mean like
No, no, no.
there is a succubi that you encounter, and
Yeah, that's true.
throughout the whole conversation you can see her tits, and you can make a decision to let her live, and most people let her live because she is
Titty laser.
she has a female form, and you can see the titties, and you don't want to kill the titties. And
I'm still like sad. There's no naked males yet.
yeah,
Show
I
some
want
man
to see
butt.
Vivek. I want to see Vivek
Oh
naked.
god, yeah. Yeah, well, he's both genders, so that's cheating.
Yeah,
He is both
he is
genitals.
both genders and has a spear for a penis. So
Yeah, well, I mean, that might have just been a exaggeration right there. All right, let's continue.
let's continue.
Climbing. Climbing ropes that hang is too difficult. Maik prefers to climb the ones that are tied horizontally, which is a reference to the fact that in Daggerfall there was a climbing skill, and and they no longer have it. Though I think, like considering what people do in Skyrim, they might want to include it again. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely.
Depends.
The thing
Daggerfall
is
is
that
the second game, yeah.
in all of the games
The,
after Daggerfall, that if there is a ladder, you can just interact with it and it teleports you to the
yeah.
upper thing. There is no climbing like at all.
Do you think it would be nice to have it similar to Witcher 3? Like no loading, no barely any loading screens, and just continuous world. That would actually be pretty nice.
That's
Wo-
the open cities mod.
Yeah,
That's
but
what it.
no, you still have to like load screens for going into houses.
Oh, like that. Hmm. The
They'd
thing
have to
is
make
that
everything
a
to
lot of the
scale.
houses have. unrealistic
Proportions,
interior
yeah.
like size.
Which is why they need to start making them more realistic,
Uh,
Anyway, yes. So
Next
next,
up, Shrine of Boethia. You seek the shrine that is no longer there. An interesting concept. Look to the seas to the west. There lies that was once a shrine. Take a deep breath and begin your search. This is actually just a direction. Hey, this is not
yes,
a lie. This is just
this is
for.
actually one of the few things that Meek says that is true.
What do you mean? A few things that is true. Everything he says
Oh
is
yeah,
true.
right, right. I mean, even his name.
Mike the liar.
So yeah, this is like in Mudcrab Merchant.
Oh shit. Yes.
Maik has heard of this. They've got all the money, mud crabs, taking over everything. They already run Pelagiat. And you see, in Morrowind, there is actually a mud crab merchant who actually talks, has a very interesting voice. But unfortunately, he's nowhere near Pelagiat. It's a bit further away. But yeah, there's a mud crab merchant. It's mud crab who sells stuff. Can you create spells in Skyrim like in Oblivion? No, you cannot. Unfortunately, a lot of people were very
Thing is
and
that if you were able to create spells, a lot of the spells in Skyrim have different effects. In Oblivion, all of these spells are basically traveling dots. There
yeah,
is no special thing, but in Skyrim you have the flamethrower, then you throw bolts, then you throw bigger bolts that explode. It
it's
would
just
be way too complicated to actually
yeah, and
combine
they were
mix and
already on
match these spells.
time limits and whatnot. So and it would make you like this one technically in Oblivion it's already proven you can be quite OP if you know how to use it as you are
Yeah.
using it. Though I feel like you're have a slight misunderstanding. Higher levels of uh, like weakness to poison in this case, does not make the experience gained any different. In
Oh, what do you
fact,
mean?
in Oblivion, the leveling for spells is actually very stupid.
Yeah, it's
Every
just
cast,
how
no,
many times you cast it.
yeah, every cast, but it doesn't matter how strong the spell is. You can
Yeah, I
have the
know.
most, oh, okay, most powerful or the
I was just
weakest.
in the recording. I was just upping it to overthrow the cost of the
Oh,
restoration spell, so it
ah,
becomes a destruction spell, so it levels up my destruction.
like that. Yeah, okay, my bad.
Big
um,
brain time.
yeah, Big Ben fan. All right, last,
What is up next?
yeah,
Mudcrab Merchant. You talked
no, no,
about that?
yes, and the last one is the were sharks. The last
Yeah.
one. Uh,
I have only met one, but he was afraid of the water.
and
Yeah.
this is all a reference to in the Daggerfall. There were a lot of different types of were creatures. Um, while in Morrowind, there weren't any until the introduction of the Blood Moon. Who is the other guy? Which other guy?
Who is the other guy?
Oh, you mean okay? This is Tom. Yeah. Uh,
Hello.
he's my
I'm the
co-host,
co-host.
the co-host of the Daedric Podcast.
Who is
Uh,
the other guy?
the other guy, yeah. The not Lyriander, yes. Um,
Not Lyriander.
I play like you can see the playthrough of like the top one is Skyrim, that's me playing, and the bottom one is Oblivion, and that's Tom playing. I mean, we say it in the beginning of every podcast, but sure, we can include it next time. Um, yeah, were shark. So basically, there was a lot of different types of were creatures in Daggerfall. Not so much
Yes.
in Morrowind until the expansion. Um, and yes, and the were sharks were supposed to be very rare.
Mm-hmm. Lycanthropy, yeah,
Yeah,
lycanthropy
yeah.
is somewhat common in the Elder Scrolls universe, but in games it is not. There is a shit ton of types, from where the classic werewolf to the were bears, were lions, were boars, were vultures, were crocodiles, and were sharks.
Yes, lots of different times, and we only ever. I think you can only ever be a werewolf.
Yeah,
But
you can
maybe
all
who knows what
be
I'll
a
do in the next
werewolf.
game.
But you encounter werebears in Skyrim,
Yes, in the
in
Souls
the
time, yeah,
Dragonborn expansion,
expansion. Yes.
and you encounter
Yeah, you can encounter the werebears and the werewolves. Uh,
yeah,
no,
but
the
in
games are not live recordings. These are pre-recorded. Our first podcast we did live recordings, but because we couldn't focus on the game and talking at the same time, this is a good solution. And this way we can like focus on what we're talking about, and then sometimes point things out that we're doing in the stream. That's why
yeah,
we.
and this way we don't have to have a boring picture, stable picture as the background. We have
Yes,
two moving
moving.
pictures.
Exactly. So you've got something to watch while you listen to us.
Yes,
So
and you can
that's
choose.
yes, you could choose. So that's everything. That's all the lines of dialogue in Morrowind. Now
Yeah,
we're gonna move on to Oblivion, which is even more lines. So, and considering the time, we might have to pick up the pace a bit. So, Maik in Oblivion starts off with the same standard line. Maik knows much. Tell some. Maik knows many things others do not, which is basically like introduction line. And
next
then
up, Mike longs for Colovian Furhelm, practical yet stylish. Mike is very sad he does not have one.
which is a
In
rep. Yeah.
Yeah, in Morrowind, Maig has this silly hat that's like way too big for him, and the hat is called Colovian Furhelm. Colovia is a province in Cyrodiil. Cyrodiil is the place the Oblivion takes place.
Yes, it's like a
So
part
it's
of.
it yeah, it's very strange that in Oblivion, which takes place in Cyrodiil, you do not have access to the Colovian Furhelm.
Yes. So that's for that line basically.
Yeah.
This is the line that you actually encounter in your game.
Yeah.
Maik wishes he had a stick made out of fishes to give you. Sadly, he does not. This is a reference to the fishy stick meme, which was going around at the time on the official Elder Scrolls forums.
It's still going.
Yeah, it's probably still going. I'm not an active member there, so I'm not sure, but I believe that it's still that's still
Yeah.
going. Fishy
Next
stick.
up, Mike believes the children are our future, but he doesn't want them running. I cannot
Ruining,
speak.
ruining all of.
Ruining
Yeah.
all our fun. I thought it was running all around. Ah,
No, no,
Jesus.
no. Ruining all our
Ruining
fun.
all. Ah, yeah. So, of course, in Skyrim, you have cannot kill them. In Oblivion, they thought about adding children, but eventually they were like, "Oh, fuck this," because
Yeah.
on one hand, adding children adds a realism to the games. On the other hand, if you make them killable, your game becomes a child murdering simulator in the eyes of your parents and family and the media and the politicians and stuff like that.
So yeah, that's why they didn't include it here.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yet in Skyrim, children have death sounds that are hidden.
yes, and that's why people were very happy to mod that into
Because
into it all.
fuck you, Brave.
Do you stream, Tom? I think.
Stream?
Do you like the question? Like, do you stream or on your own
Oh,
or
Tom streams too, or is he?
only a host?
I do not stream. I'm only here as a host. I do not play Oblivion that much. This is actually my very first playthrough.
Yes, that's why he's.
I played a lot of Skyrim back in the time, back in the day. I have around 1,000 hours in Skyrim altogether, combined with
Oh,
all platforms and all versions.
there you go.
So Skyrim is absolutely one of my favorite games. I do not stream.
Yes. Next line of Mike in Oblivion. Mike thinks his people are beautiful. The Argonian people are beautiful as well. they look better than ever before. Which is, of course, first of all, a reference to the fact that they have a completely different appearance in Oblivion. But also, some people said that the beast races look better in Morrowind because they look more beast-like. Um, but that's why I'm saying like the people are beautiful. It's like they chose to have this appearance, the developers, and it's fine.
Thing is that the Kashi in Oblivion all look lion-like or
Yes,
mountain lion-like. In
and
Morrowind, they look very
yeah,
tiger-ish.
more tiger. And then in Skyrim they
Skyrim,
have
they look like lynx,
yeah bobcats, lynxes. Yeah.
bobcats, lynx. Yeah, and of course the Argonians were absolutely fucking horrible in Morrowind.
Well, they certainly look like beasts. That's for sure.
Yeah, I really like what Skyrim did to Argonians. They deserve that.
Yes.
Poor creatures.
Poor creatures. Oh yeah. Next, where were we? In Issa they look
uh,
like
yeah,
panther.
Some
Yeah.
people wish to throw their weapons. That seems foolish to Maik. If you hold your weapon, you only need one.
This is referring to the
The,
fact that there are no throwing knives, throwing stars, throwing daggers, or darts in Oblivion. They were in Morrowind, but from that point onward, neither in Oblivion or Skyrim there are no weapons you can actually throw. There are only
yeah.
bows
I don't
and
think
some
in
crossbows.
online you don't have that option either, but I'm not
You
sure.
don't even have weapons well, there's spells.
Yeah, there's spells
Everything.
that you make you throw stuff, but
Yeah. There is no actual like equipment.
yeah, exactly.
It's an MMO. It has completely different combat system.
Yeah, no, dual wielding was not an option yet in the first in Oblivion.
Uh, in the Elder Scrolls, I would say they look panther-like. I
Yeah,
don't. They do.
panther.
I never played.
They do look more panther like. I do agree with that. But they also have you give you the freedom to look a bit more like other things as well. Wow, what are you doing in the Oblivion playthrough? Anyway,
Oh, they actually. Yeah.
you have to kill. Why don't you just
They.
kill the fucking wraiths?
I'm swinging at them. I was looking. I have. I'm invisible. You can't see
Yeah,
me
I
swinging.
know that, but like,
Yeah, they look very also lion-like, but some of them look. Yeah,
just
they look like panther.
yeah, that's the Oblivion version of Essential. Instead of like they actually dying, they just fall unconscious. um, let's see, next one. Where were we? All right. Some people want special bows that take too long to load and need special arrows called bolts. Maik thinks they are idiots. That is, of course, referencing the fact that Morrowind had crossbows, but Oblivion did not.
And Skyrim does have, and they act like it's a super like invention, even though later on you get a dwarven crossbow.
Yeah, so and it's like yeah, it's weird that they're being so weird about it.
Yeah,
Oh well,
it's really strange with the crossbows.
yeah. Um, Skyrim has crossbows. Yes, the Dawnguard DLC adds crossbows. So there you go. If you haven't played that, then next line.
Where are we?
Feet are for walking.
Feet. Yeah.
Feet are for walking, hands are for hitting or shaking or waving, sometimes for clapping.
Some people were talking, wanted the ability to kick
Mm, they wanted to
in
kick
Oblivion.
Oblivion,
There
and
is no ability to kick.
no,
This
no.
is the line referencing that. Next up, Mike preface.
Ah, yes. Maik prefers to adventure alone. Others just get in the way and they talk, talk, talk. Obviously, this is a reference once again to discussion about Oblivion becoming multiplayer, and they didn't do it. Uh,
Or it can be referencing the companion system
yes.
that I don't think it's.
In
Does
Oblivion,
Morrowind have companions?
Morrowind, no. Oblivion has a few like escort
It has
quests.
followers. It doesn't have companions.
No, exactly. It has a few followers. And they also like to like talk a lot, and they really went far with it with the adoring fan. That's just a joke character at this point. He keeps talking and doesn't help you
Other
in
than
any way.
that, in Oblivion, you can get the guards from the not Frosthorn Castle. Was the DLC fighter house?
Yeah, and
Uh,
also in
Dark Brotherhood
Dark Brotherhood
initiative.
initiates. Yeah, there's like a few things that you can use, but it's not
Yeah, but
very
they only
useful.
just follow you around and assist in combat. You cannot talk to them, make them walk, make them interact with things,
Yes,
or make them carry your shit.
but like it's a nice start for when you're
Skyrims, yeah.
nice. It's
Lydia,
fun.
get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah, no, it's also fun that you're like on your current stream. You're going through the this.
What am I doing?
You are
Oh
looking
yeah.
at the at the wiki. Anyway, next one.
Where
Yeah,
are we?
people enjoy.
Yeah. Um, People always enjoy a good fable. Mike has yet to find one, though perhaps one day.
Which is a kind of a funny reference to the game the
Their
game
shit
series.
talking fable.
Yeah, the game series Fable was often compared to Elder Scrolls and the other way around. So they were like basically they're saying like, oh, Fable is nothing compared to us. Sort of shit
Yeah,
talking, but like it's in
the-
good nature.
it's a power move. Uh,
I'll look for a picture. Hold on.
cool.
Let's see. I can actually show you here. There's pictures
Oh,
of.
in which game do
Yeah,
you
like
see it?
here's how he looks in like there's a concept art for him.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna rewind so you can see Mike.
Yes. Oh yeah. That's also possible.
Yeah.
That's how he looks in Oblivion, like a kitty. Does he run away? Anyway. Yeah. Next one. So much easier to get around these days. Not like the old days. Too much walking. Of course, nothing stops Maik from walking whenever he wants. Which is like in Oblivion you actually have a fast travel system, but in Morrowind you didn't have that. You could use only a very few options to fast travel. But Oblivion now you could just like teleport basically everywhere, except for Maik. Maik is of course an NPC. He doesn't do that, but um, he has an amazing running speed.
Yeah. Especially in Oblivion. I don't know how about in Skyrim. I think in Skyrim he just walks.
Yeah, he has his normal speed, but in Oblivion he
Yeah.
has maxed out. He is actually the fastest character in the game. The only thing that's faster is the black horse, the black horses. That's the only thing that who are faster.
Or an arrow.
Well, yeah, but that's not a living being.
No, like seriously, Mike is super fast. Later on in the playthrough near the end, I'm trying to catch him to talk to him. I'm using glitches
In
to
order
be
to.
as fast as I can, and he's twice as fast as me.
Yes, that's what you get when you have maxed out speed and athleticism. You get crazy fast. All right, next. Yes, the compass line.
Mike is glad he has a compass. Makes it easier to find things. Much better than wandering around like a fool.
In Morrowind, there were no compasses.
I'm
That
not sure about that though. I know like in Daggerfall you had a compass, so really did they not have one? I think it's more about
no,
the fact.
in Morrowind there was no quest markers.
The quest markers. That's the thing. Yeah, you had a compass
Yeah.
basically to show which direction you're going.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see where north is, but on the compass you had no quest markers. And he's talking about the quest markers.
Yeah, the quest markers really. Yes, bottles of booze or skooma in in Oblivion, like fortify speed as well. So
Yeah, the thing is that in Oblivion you can only chuck
4.
6 skooma.
Oh, 6. Yeah. Well, you
6
can glitch
skooma.
it to be more, but
I don't know how.
yeah. Next. Why would one want to swing a staff? A mace hurts more, or a sword. Can't shoot a fireball from a sword though. Which is a reference that people were complaining about the fact that the staff in Oblivion can only be used to cast spells. In Morrowind, you can use staffs to hit things as well.
Yeah, they were weapon, but in Oblivion they are used as a spell slinging device.
Yes.
And also in Morrowind, the enchanting of the weapons was far more diverse. It could have a cast effect or a constant effect.
Yes.
Not
Oh god.
only in Oblivion, if you have a weapon, it only does stuff when you hit something.
Yes. In Morrowind, like there were some weapons that basically made you weaker whilst holding them.
Yep.
Cursed weapons. There's one weapon in particular. I forget the name. It's a complicated name. Which the story is behind it is like you had two different smiths who made half of the blade each, and basically like they were able to enchant it as they see fit. Um, and so basically they both made each half and they put it together, but the problem is they made enchantments that counter each other. There's like one that was had calm and frost, and the other half was fire and fear. And basically, the effects cancel each other out, so the weapon does nothing in special effects anyway. I think it's funny that like stuff like that was possible in the older games, but they kind of removed it. Yeah. Next up.
I do not wish to fight on horseback. It is a good way to ruin a perfectly good horse, which is to say, a perfectly good dinner.
Reference to the fact that not only like horses are this time they're available, of course, in Oblivion, but they were also going to include horseback riding as a form of combat. But yeah, they chose not to do it. And of course, they're referencing the fact that in the previous in Morrowind he was eating horses. So yeah, that's that I think. Levitation is for fools. Why would we want to levitate? Once you are up high, there is nowhere to go but down. In Morrowind, you had the levitation spell, which allowed you to go up a lot of places. The problem is sweet. Yeah. The problem is because of the way they designed the new locations in Oblivion, including the levitation spell would mean that the people are able to get to places way earlier than they should, which is actually one of the speedrunner. The speedrunners have this one glitch which takes advantage of that, where you can just basically warp to the end of the game pretty early on.
Absolutely. You just check a few potions of levitation.
No. In Oblivion, you can
Oh, in Oblivion.
if you drop a paintbrush in the earlier versions, it becomes a
Oh,
static
yeah,
object in the
yeah.
air, and you can step on top of it and basically make a ladder of brushes, and then do that. But yeah, they removed it, and in Skyrim they didn't include it either because of the same reason. But who knows? Maybe in the next game, if they make it like I said, like Witcher, where everything is basically open, they can include it again. We'll see. We'll see.
The thing is, Witcher doesn't have any verticality to it, so.
No, technically it does, but barely.
Next up,
um,
it is good the people wear clothes. Mike wears clothing. Who would want to see Mike naked? Sick people. Very sad. Nudity again.
nudity is not available in Oblivion. You always wear a loincloth and a bra if you have
Yeah,
a
it
female
also may
character.
be referencing that in the Morrowind, nudity was not present also, but Khajiit and Argonians were naked because
Yeah,
they are
well,
not
yeah, there was
human.
like a few locations where they were because they were kept as slaves, basically.
Yeah. Next
And
up,
maybe it's an insult to people who draw Mike naked, but who knows? Next up, I don't know why one would want to destroy a building. It takes time to make it, much time. Of course, a reference to the fact that buildings are not destructible.
yeah,
It was discussed at
destructible
some.
environment
Yes,
is way too hard to compute.
Yes,
And
they wanted to include it, but they were like, nah, it's too hard.
they could do it in a quest. Like if you have a quest to burn down a village or
Yeah.
burn down a house or something.
Yes, I guess.
Like
Okay.
place a barrel full of
Yes.
explosives and set it off. The house
If
explodes. Like,
okay, I'm going to interrupt you because I'm showing in my playthrough exactly what we were showing before. Or like we were talking about it before. I am about to use unrelenting force on the big bell. I want to show that I did yet. I already did, and there's the dragon.
so you're ascending down the teleporter now, running to the hallway.
Oh no! Like if you look at the stream, I already summoned it and everything.
No, just there for me.
Oh, okay. You're slightly behind, of course. Yeah.
How the frick do you do the picking? You start the what?
My pickaxe is OP.
Oh, pickaxe. Yeah.
Yes. And it's opened. What? Do the picking. You do start. Don't do anything. It's open. Oh no! He's
Let's talk
in
about
Oblivion.
me.
You're using there's an option for auto picking, and he has the skeleton key which cannot be broken. So if you can see here, like auto attempt,
Yeah.
and if you just keep clicking that with a lockpick that can't break, it will eventually open.
Yep.
Nice
Because
features.
The lockpicking in Oblivion sucks ass.
Nah, it's not that bad.
It's horrible.
Come on, we've seen worse. Let's go to the next line. Yeah.
I have seen dragons. Perhaps you will see a dragon. I won't say where I saw one. Perhaps I did not.
This is absolutely hinting at Elder Scrolls V the Skyrim.
No. It's actually already hinting at the end of the game of Oblivion, because at the end you also will see a dragon.
Also,
Yeah.
it's not a dragon.
It is. Well, it's a representation of like fucking Akatosh, so it's a dragon.
Yeah, I know
So
he's the
that
dragon
I
god,
feel like
kinda.
that's a reference to that. Perhaps you will see a dragon. It is a kind of dragon. It could also be a reference, of course, to
Dragons,
dragons
like in general, like
in
again,
Skyrim.
the thing that dragons are not present in the game,
Yes.
and the forums were just bustling with people.
We want
We want
dragons.
dragons. We want dragons. Yeah.
Then we have the next line. Werewolves? Where? Wolves? Men that are wolves? Many wolves, everywhere. Many men. That is enough for Maik. Oblivion does not have any kind of werewolves or other types of lycanthropes. So, like people were like, "Oh, where are the werewolves?" But they didn't include it. I don't know if they have a specific reason for it, but no werewolves. Yes, and that's the last of the Oblivion lines. Now we can move on to
Thanks to Skyrim.
the Skyrim lines. Now, there's a few like standard lines this time.
Yeah, standard lines along the line of
Maik wishes you well.
Maik,
Maik knows many things, no?
Maik knows much and tells some. Maik knows many things others do not, which is a reoccurring quote, of course.
yes.
And then here is a nice thing that's actually referencing something you earlier asked about magic. What does it mean to combine magic? Magic plus magic is still magic. There were a lot of changes in magic system in Skyrim, as you might know, but there was talk of combining spells into one bigger effect, such as having flames in one hand, frostbite in the other, and then creating frostbite or something. I don't know, like burning cold, something like that. Who knows? But they didn't do that. It was too complicated. Instead, they have the perks that make spells more powerful when you combine them.
Exactly. Like perks were not present in the previous games at all.
Well,
And,
I mean, definitely not perks. There were some bonuses that you would get if you get high enough, but they're not really
if you get
perks.
enough mastery, like you would get something.
Yes.
But no perks like dual casting, especially the dual casting, which which reference is this one?
Too much magic can be dangerous. Mike once had 2 spells and burned his sweet roll.
Yes, dual. It's referring to the dual casting. Yes.
Because in Skyrim, your character
Discovered they have 2 hands.
Wow, amazing.
yeah.
And I mean, you could also say it's a reference to the fact that if you constantly spam your magic, you might actually screw things up for yourself, especially if you have followers or you hit something you shouldn't. You blow up the environment, like you cost something that has a blowback effect, and all the items fly everywhere. No. Next, much snow in Skyrim. Enough snow. Maik does not want any more. Uh, the developers promised that there would be dynamic snow that builds up on surfaces. Like, as the snow continues to fall, the snow starts to pile up more and more. But unfortunately, that was too difficult. So they have like a pre-made pile of snow that just never increases. I mean
Some
that
textures that change, like as if to simulate that there is less or more snow,
is
but
there
there is
though.
no physical no physical
Yeah, regulation.
accumulation.
Yes, it's just like yeah. I mean that also references back to something we discussed before, where originally was going to changing of seasons, um, but eventually they couldn't do it. The engine couldn't take it, and so that's why the different regions of Skyrim are like stuck in one season. Like the north is stuck in winter, the Rift is stuck in fall, Falkreath is stuck in spring or summer.
Summer,
Yeah,
and what's it called? Halfingar is stuck in spring, where everything is blooming,
yeah.
everything is wet.
So yeah, it's it's something that they did include. Maybe we'll see it in the next game. We'll see.
Yes.
Moving on. Skyrim was once the land of many butterflies. Now, not so much. Yeah, it's a dual reference. It could be to the fact that you
Triple
can,
reference.
yes, you can catch butterflies, and which you're basically killing all the butterflies because you keep taking them. But there was also a glitch in the earlier versions where butterflies would not despawn when you leave an area, which means that when you come back, new ones will have spawned and the previous ones are still there. So as you continue the game, more and more um, butterflies would appear to the point where the game crashes because there's too many butterflies.
So fucking funny. And also the third reference, it could be referencing the Daedric Prince Shiogorath,
Oh yes, also possible.
where he spent his youth torturing butterflies.
Well, that, but also in the beginning of the Oblivion DLC, Shivering Isles, as you enter the Shivering Isles, there's butterflies everywhere.
Yeah, he likes butterflies.
Fun. Next, you read it.
Snow falls. Why worry where it goes? Mike thinks the snowflakes are pretty.
Yeah, the snow falls, but it doesn't melt, and it sometimes goes through roofs.
Yeah,
This is just the
it clips through everything, and
this is just the excuse.
for them to not fix that, there are some mods
Yeah,
that fix it.
it would take too much time to actually fix it because they would have to instance it. They would have to go to each and every location where it clips through and fix it.
Yeah, and there are some mods that do that, which is nice. But yeah,
Madman.
man, yes. Maik carries 2 weapons to be safe. What if one breaks? That would be most unlucky. Now, in Oblivion, that was actually a thing that could happen because weapons have durability that slowly goes down. Same with all the games in the past. In Oblivion, in Skyrim, they removed that feature. So if you break a weapon in Skyrim, that would be very unfortunate, very unlucky,
And also carries two
impossible.
weapons. It may be referencing the fact that in Skyrim you discover you have 2 hands, and both of the hands can wield a sword.
Yes, or any other weapon.
Yeah.
Durability, yeah, durability. Next.
Yeah. Speaking of the durability,
Uh,
I don't think it will be returning, since the other games, like in the Fallout series, durability was a thing
in the earlier
until
ones.
Fallout 4,
Yeah.
where durability was just cut out.
Yeah,
And
I
in
feel
Skyrim, it is no
like
longer there, so I think durability will not be returning because it is not a feature that many people hold dear.
no, it's like one of those things where it makes the whole thing more realistic, but it gameplay wise, it's just a nuisance.
Yeah, it's a burden.
So, like, what do you want? Do you want to have a game which is realistic, or want one that's
Yeah,
easy to
it's
play?
like giving gold weight.
Yeah. Oh God, that would be horrible. Like,
If gold had weight, imagine that.
yeah,
Or
but then
other things if they had weight, like arrows,
keys.
keys, stuff like that. Some papers.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, definitely.
The thing is that Skyrim, it built on being like immersive, realistic. But if you were to go all the way, it would not be fun. And I
Well,
think there
for
are
some
some
people it is
things
fun.
that,
It's just that, like,
huh?
for some people it's fun to have that realism.
Some people, not for,
Yes,
but not for
and
the
that's
majority.
exactly why the developers chose to not do it, because they want to make sure they
Yeah.
get as big an audience as possible.
Yeah, the same thing goes for the carry weight limit, like the encumbrance. The infinite inventory
Yeah.
is a thing that many people fucking love in video games. Like
Yes.
in the Dark Souls series, infinite inventory.
Oh yeah. In what's it called? In Elder Scrolls Online, you technically have not a limited inventory in that you can only carry certain amount of certain amount of items, but you can carry multiple of that item.
Yep. The thing is that inventory stacking or inventory management is not fun for the most people. And if it scales right, like in Oblivion, for it scales with your strength, which is something not present in Skyrim. In Skyrim, there is no there are no stats, so it has nothing to scale with.
Hmm.
Maybe if it's stacked with stamina,
Maybe.
maybe whatever. Let's go next because we're
Yes.
running out of time.
Oh no, yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to do the
Online, yeah.
online one, but I do want to talk a bit about Elder Scrolls 6. So, like, once we hit the 15-minute mark, yeah, the 115 mark, definitely.
The Oblivion character looks like Mr. Bean. Yeah, he looks fucking horrible.
Very true. Where were we? That's the wrong tab.
Two weapons.
Yes.
Bayek is always in search of Calipas, yet finds none. Where could have they gone?
Yeah, that's of course a reference to in Oblivion. At a certain time of the day, Maik would just stop whatever he's doing and just find all the calipers in the neighborhood that he could. In fact, if you drop a caliper near Maik in Oblivion, he will actually run towards it. So that's one way to get him to stop running away from you. But there are
Calipers,
no
if you don't
calipers.
know, is a type of forceps that no, not forge masters, smiths use.
Yes, it's like a tool to pick up hot things.
Hot stuff. Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Next.
like the things you use when you grill meat. Tongs.
Sort of, yeah. It's like that, but
Yeah.
it's slightly different. Maik hears many stories of war, yet few of them are true. Of course, it's possibly this self-criticism from Bethesda in that they have all these stories about grand battles and whatnot, and look at the civil war going on, but the actual scale of battles is usually pretty small.
Yeah. If you actually progress to the Civil War in Skyrim and go all the way to assaulting either Winterhold or not
Let me
Winterhold,
hold
Windhelm,
Windhelm
either
or
Windhelm or
Solitude.
Solitude, uh, it's supposed to be a grand battle, but in total there's like 15 Stormcloaks at max.
50, 15, something like that. Yeah, they respawn, but basically if you go through it pretty quickly, like there's barely any battle going on.
Yeah.
Like there's certain
I
dungeons where
hope
you
that
feel
in
like you fight
Elder
more.
Scrolls 6 they make it somehow the game can run more NPCs, so we can have grand battles.
They did say that they're gonna update the engine, so maybe.
Make a new engine for fuck's sake.
Yeah, now they are doing that. Next, you
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Mike has heard that the people of Skyrim are better looking than the ones in Cyrodiil. He has no opinion on the matter. All people are beautiful to him.
Of course, a reference to the huge
Skyrim has
change, huge
Skyrim
change
has
in
better
how
models,
people
yeah.
look. But yeah, no, that's basically it. Like, there's a huge shift in how the characters look, and but like he says, like, they're still beautiful in their own way. They're products of their time. Yes. Maik saw a mud crab the other day. Horrible creatures. Of course, a reference to the fact that the Oblivion NPCs, who are known to have like these random conversations, often complain about mud crabs. But also, that's something I don't think they did on purpose, but mud crabs have a very long aggro range, and you can barely see them, and they're very slow. And you can't fast travel if you're in battle. But those mud crabs, if they see you, they will go into battle with you. Um, but like basically, like you can't fast travel, and like, wait, where's the fucking mud crab? So you'd spend like 5 minutes trying to figure out where the hell that mud crab
Five
is.
minutes.
Yeah, or more.
I was running from a rave half an hour, like two recordings ago.
Yeah, that happens. Next.
Mike does not understand what is so impressive about shouting. Mike can shout whenever he wants.
Of course, a reference to dragon
The
shouts.
dragon shouts, the foom that you get in Skyrim,
Yes.
Fusroda and all that shit.
And he's like, what's so impressive? I can do that too. Why do soldiers bother with target practice? One learns best by hitting real people. Of course, a reference to the fact that
You
you
need
have
to, yeah.
soldiers practicing on targets, but that doesn't do
That
anything.
doesn't actually raise
Yeah,
their level. You
yeah,
need
no,
to
it
hit
also it doesn't raise your ability to hit things. Or
yeah,
like
it doesn't.
no.
You need to hit valid living targets
Yes.
in order to level up.
Maybe secretly he's also Dragonborn.
Mike,
Yeah.
hey, everything is possible, right?
Yes. Next. Yeah. There's another reference we previously did. Something strange happens to Khajiit when they arrive in Skyrim. Of course, a reference to, once again, the big change in appearance.
Yeah.
Where bears? Where bears? Men that are bears?
This is a reference, of course, to the line in Oblivion where he says this thing, but with werewolves. And yeah, werebears, you can't play as one, but they are present in
The
The
Dragonborn DLC.
Dragonborn DLC on the island of Solstheim.
Yes. The island that I
But they
actually
are
just arrived
tentative.
at in
They
my.
are hostile creatures. They are
Yes.
not NPCs.
Yes. Next. Dragons were never gone. They were just invisible and very, very quiet. A nice reference to, in the past he stated, "Why are you?" uh, you might want to check your Discord there.
Yeah,
Of course, a
I was
reference to,
actually.
in the past he mentioned like that the dragons were always there but never showed, and in this game finally they do appear. Of course. What kind of were creatures are there? You had a list earlier. It's werewolves, bears, boars, sharks, vultures.
What else? Rats,
Yeah,
lions.
basically, if it's a creature, there's a were for it.
Uh, you can think of it as for every race, there is a specific where
Yes,
something.
Yes, there are
Yeah,
were
were
sharks.
sharks.
It's pretty cool, huh?
And they are supposed to be present in the inner sea in Cyrodiil.
yeah, she technically can be a were tiger as well, as a Khajiit already. Double
Wait,
kitty power.
were tigers?
I think were tigers are a thing.
I I know that there were lions, and they
Were lions.
are the imperial version. Like imperials can be were lions, like signified by their royalty or something like that. You know.
Ah, yes. Who
The
knows?
were boars are for red guards, I think.
It's not that. Is it not that just everyone can turn into one? I don't know.
Yeah, of course, everyone can turn
But in the
into one.
game, in
But
Daggerfall, it only
in the
appears
lore, it's like
in that region.
yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, do you want to read them or?
Yeah, I cut out for some reason. Internet is fucking up. Sorry. Next up, where were we?
Hi, Hrothgar.
Dragons, right?
Yeah, dragons, and now next is.
No,
All right,
internet.
I'll read it out loud. Maik once walked to High Hrothgar so many steps he lost count. It's of course a reference to in-game. They keep saying it's 7,000 steps to get to the top. In reality, you'll find that it actually isn't 700, but still, it's a lot of steps. So you know.
It takes a solid chunk of your time to get to High Hrothgar by feet.
Yes.
And by the intended route.
Yes. Oh God. Yeah, that makes it even longer. Yeah. It's
But if you actually interact with all of those all of those memorials, by the way, on the way, when you interact with the last one, you get a blessing that
yes.
lasts for a whole day, for
24
a
in-game
whole
hours. Yes.
24 hours.
The voice of the sky. Yeah.
Yeah, which makes all animals passive to you.
Yes. Very nice. Next.
Next up, Mike does not remember his childhood. Perhaps he never had one.
In Skyrim, there are no
No.
Khajiit children,
Yes, there's that.
and Argonian children, and Elven children, and
Just
Redguard
men.
children, Orc
Well, there
children.
are Redguard children.
No, they're not.
Yes, there are. Braith is Redguard.
Brave.
Yes. You know that hateful
Brave?
one from Whiterun?
Skyrim.
Yeah.
From Whiterun. She is not the Redguard.
Yes, she is. Both her parents are Redguard. How could she not be? She's Redguard.
Brave?
Yeah, Braith. Like the one that I'll beat up anyone.
The piece of shit that bullies
Yeah, that's a Redguard. And
she's white.
no, she's not. She's dark skinned.
Oh yeah, she's brownish. Oh, she's a Redguard. I
Yes.
didn't know that.
Wow. You are not paying attention, I guess.
Skyrim is too light.
Yours is.
She looks normal.
Cause she too. They're normal kitties, yeah.
Is she supposed to be Nazim's daughter?
No, she's not Nazim's. She's what's his face? Aaron's daughter.
Oh, Aaron, yeah.
Something
the
like
guy
that.
you kill in.
No. And I'm talking about the guy who wants you to get his father's blade.
Yeah,
and
you kill him in a Dark Brotherhood questline.
No, you don't.
Really?
No, you don't. There's different people you kill. You can kill him if you want. Yeah, they just evolve after leveling it up, basically. They're just like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh god, there's so many more. Let's go through these faster.
We have 1 minute.
Yes. Maik is very practical. He has no need for mysticism. A reference to the fact that mysticism is no longer available school of magic in Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
North's armor has lots of fur. These sometimes make Maik nervous. The fact that Maik is a Khajiit and they have fur, so like seeing all these fur armors, you know. There's actually even a book, Confessions of a Khajiit Fur Trader, which is very.
That sounds
Yeah,
It's a dark book, absolutely. Yeah, the podcast is we do a total of 1.5 hours, but we wanted to discuss something before the end. That's
I don't
why
think we'll be able to
go
do
through the whole
the
list.
entirety of Maik.
Yeah, it's already like we're already at 1:15 basically.
Yeah, so split it into 2 podcasts because
Yeah, well,
there's a lot of
yeah,
stuff that is very interesting.
yeah.
And
We can continue with Maik next time. Why
so
not longer?
let's
Because
go
we
to
have
Elder
other
Scrolls 6.
things to do. Sorry. Yes.
Let's go.
Elder Scrolls 6. Um, so okay, first off, we want to make a big sort of announcement with that because like about 2 days ago, there was someone uploaded a trailer of Elder Scrolls 6. But despite what Google might say, it is not real. It is not. Um, it is like the trailer is a fan made trailer. It's a pretty good one. I was almost fooled by it, but it's not real.
Oh, and which one is that?
Let me double check. If you just look Elder Scrolls 6 on Google, it will already show. I think one of the top results.
From the guy called Along Came Josh.
Hold on, the internet's not fast. Captain Hishiro, that's the one.
Oh, I see.
That's pretty good, but like, yeah, no, it's not real. Sorry, people. No trailers yet. In fact, chances are that because they're working on a different game first, they might not. They're probably not gonna have anything until like 2025 or something. So yeah, that's rather unfortunate.
But if you look at the trailer, I think it's a nice representation what the graphics could actually look like.
Yes, good. There's a random Game of Thrones scene in there though.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of Elder Scrolls Online trailers, thing,
yeah,
scenes from there.
like what is real? How to know if the music is from Skyrim? It's pretty much like yes. Now this trailer that I'm talking about actually doesn't use any Elder Scrolls trailer, any Elder Scrolls music. So that's why I was confused at first, and then I saw like, oh, it's fake because they have this nice music in the teaser trailer, which we can talk about a bit. It's actually like there's different theories about the next game. People have stated that like Redfall might be the name of the game because of the copyright issues that Bethesda was having.
Basically there is a finite list of copyrighted words that you can access. Everybody can access. And Bethesda has trademarked the word Redfall
Yes.
somewhere in the year 2017, I think.
Yes, and that made people think, oh, the next game is going to be called Redfall, which is
Because
possible.
It's actually an event that Redfall. It's an event.
Yeah,
in
it could.
that history.
Yes, it's hard to specify exactly what is the cause, and we didn't really get a lot of information with the teaser, which is why it's a good teaser.
we got fucking nothing. We got a scenic view at one city near the coast. There are some archipelagos in the distance that people
Yes.
basically try to they try to calculate where the city is
Yes.
with the help of the archipelagos, and the general consensus is that it is somewhere either Hammerfell or High Rock.
Yes, that's the most common theory. There is another theory though, which I actually have someone on Twitter. Sorry if I can't come up with that. Let's see. I can actually, if you give me a second, find the name. Let's see. There's one person who claimed that it might have been taking place in Yokuda. Leon Hurley is his name, is his Twitter account. Let's probably name them. And he has this wonderful picture in comparison, which I can show you. Let me see. Here we go. So this is like in the trailer, as you can see, and you have these little like pieces of island that are sticking out there. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, the archipelagos.
Yes. not sure if they call that, but and
Yeah,
then
is
he
it
looked. Yeah,
is it the English word like the half island?
no, I don't know. I don't have a dictionary on me right now. So there's these three things sticking out, and many people say, "Oh no, it's in High Rock or Daggerfall." But look what he has found. That is the island of Yokuda. See, yeah, island of Yokuda, um, and that also has those 3 points. The only problem is, like, if you look in the distance in the background, you can also see mountains again, which on the map aren't there. So unless Yokuda comes up from the water near the coastline or something, which would be a cool event, I think.
It is a cool theory, but I don't think they would do that.
Yeah, true.
I think they're absolutely gonna place it in an actual province on
Who knows?
Tamriel.
Who knows? Yeah,
Yokuda could be a place of a DLC, though.
could be, could be. Uh, Another thing that I want to point out is that if you listen to the trailer, you have, obviously, it's the Elder Scrolls theme, but the new twist to it has like
The
certain use,
horns,
yeah, and horns
the
and everything.
fucking horns.
Now, here's an interesting thing that I discovered with those horns, because like if you're gonna look at every detail of a trailer, you gotta look at every detail, including the music. If you listen to the horns in that trailer, and then listen to the opening intro, basically, of the game Daggerfall, you will actually see that they're very similar in sound. Very like they're not exactly the same because the theme hadn't been created yet, but they're using the same instruments. So that's another clue that it might take place in Elder Scroll in Daggerfall, because it's using a very similar music build-up. And Daggerfall, of course, took place in High Rock because that's the city in. Uh, yeah, Daggerfall is the capital of High Rock, so you know.
Mhm.
So I found it was fun for me to like see, like listen to the music, and like if you look, if you go to YouTube, right, and you type in Daggerfall trailer. I know it's technically the wrong term. You will see, like, the second video. It says the Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall trailer. It's technically just the opening, the two opening cinematics. And in the first section with the book, the music that's playing, that's the music I'm referring to. It sounds very similar to the
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls 6 trailer. So you can listen to that in your own time or now if you want to. But I just thought it was a lot of fun that I noticed that.
And the music in the Elder Scrolls 6 trailer is the thing that caught most of the many people's ears,
Yeah.
not eyes, because it's the biggest thing, basically.
Yeah, it's like
The scenery is very generic. It's
yes.
not something that
I mean, like no, like the scenery does help in limiting the choices, because
yeah,
uh,
absolutely. Everybody knows it's not elsewhere. It's not gonna be Valen Wood. It's not gonna be Somerset
or
Isles. It's
Black
not gonna be
Marsh,
Morrowind, and it's not gonna be Skyrim
and also the Black Marsh. Yeah, so
and
it's
Black
gonna
Marsh.
be High Rock, Daggerfall, uh, maybe, yeah, like all of the provinces that we haven't seen.
Elsewhere. Maybe elsewhere.
Yeah, technically the south coast of Elsewhere could have that, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not it. They will name it like the provinces or
If it
something.
were
It could be cool. Yeah,
after Elder Scrolls, people would appreciate a remake. Oh, absolutely. I think that
I
especially Morrowind, not Daggerfall, because Daggerfall is not a full province.
I think okay.
But
So
remake of Morrowind would be not I don't think appreciated, but it would be
yeah,
certainly cool.
yeah. Okay. So, but the thing is, I don't think that they're gonna do that. There's already plenty of yes. No, no,
Remastered.
no. Even that, like, they already have enough fans who are working on that, and of course they can't make any money of it. But
Mhm.
I don't think. I mean, Bethesda has yet to show any kind of indication that they want to make remakes. I think, and I'm okay with that. Like, I would say leave the masterpieces as they are.
Yeah. Well,
As
yeah, as you said, there are people making it.
Yeah, exactly.
If
Sky
you
Oblivion.
look up Sky Oblivion and Skyfall, Those are two
Yes.
projects. Yeah, Sky Oblivion and Skyfall. Those are two projects
There's
that.
also projects that is just basically a whole like doesn't use the engine I think at all, but there's like a complete remaster of Daggerfall and Arena. Not
Yes,
Arena,
yes.
Daggerfall, and it looks much better, obviously. But yeah, so I don't. I think with all those projects going on, I don't think Bethesda feels all too inclined to make their own remaster.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yes, another thing that I want to talk about is that there's something we've also talked about before is that the if Elder Scrolls 6 takes place after Skyrim, one of the possible things that it's going to be about, it might actually be the plague of Parit. That he was like, if you go through the Daedric questline of Parit, there's talk about a plague that is slowly starting to spread in High Rock, which could be, and with all these other clues that it might take place in High Rock, it could be that that is going to be a big part of the questline. Who
Yeah,
knows?
absolutely. Like that's the other question. The main question everybody talks about is where it is,
And
not
when
when.
it
Yeah,
is.
Elder Scrolls Corona Edition,
Yes, that's
exactly.
that's also probably like imagine if they had the idea of doing like a plague and then this happens. That would really make them like question like, oh, can we keep doing this? Because if you look at I mean, this might be just more of a Japan thing. Like they have like a lot of, for instance, Pokemon episodes of the anime where they had earthquakes and then an earthquake happened and then they couldn't broadcast the earthquake uh,
Yeah.
episode. So it could be that they're not going to do that simply because of Corona. But at the same time, you mean they could do it to give a little lightheartedness to the situation, but at the same time, look at how many people have already died due to Corona. So who knows what they'll
Yeah,
do?
that may be a
Yeah,
problem. But
you
still,
yeah. So like
as I was saying, many people ask where, not that many people ask when, and I think when is more important than where
true.
when it comes to the Elder Scrolls, because the history of the Elder Scrolls universe is somewhat well documented, somewhat.
Yeah, except for like whenever the games take place.
Yeah, exactly. So if like as far as it was, the Elder Scrolls games continue in time. Like the first
Yeah, except for
is
online, but
yeah, yeah, like Arena, Daggerfall, then Morrowind, then Oblivion, then Skyrim. And of course, online takes time in the second era,
yeah, in the year 582, I believe, on top of my
something
head.
like that.
Yeah, but like
And
that, they were able to kind of work with it. Uh, they didn't make a lot of inconsistencies. Well, there's a few things where like suddenly like certain books appear when they shouldn't.
yeah, the books are a different topic
Yeah.
altogether.
Uh, yeah, GTA 3 also had a similar mission with the plane into a skyscraper and then the Twin Towers happened. Yeah, so another example of
Yeah, also in
games.
the original Deus Ex,
Hmm.
the Twin Towers, they couldn't make them in the game because technical limitations. So they made an event that they were destroyed by a terrorist attack.
Whoops, prediction much.
Prediction match, yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that
Like,
happens
there
sometimes.
are a lot of things, and this is actually a good reference because when you are talking about um, the plague,
Yeah.
um, the thing is that each and every Elder Scrolls has a Daedra behind it, or an
Yes.
Aedra in case of Skyrim.
Yeah, in the main quest line, there's always like a Daedric uh, a Daedric prince who's heavily involved one way or
Yes,
another. Even if it's the DLCs, like there's always like in a main
there's
quest
a,
line, they're involved.
you could say that Alduin is Akatosh,
Yeah, it's a
and
book.
You could say that. Um, Dragonborn DLC is
Hermaeus Mora.
Hermamora, and Dawnguard DLC is Molag Bal.
Yeah. Daedric
Daedric.
was. Oh boy, that's 2 videos ago. If you want to know what Daedric are, long story short, they're basically the gods that never bothered to help create the world, and they are therefore like they're more powerful, but they just do as they please. They're mostly kind of
You
evil,
can think of them as evil gods.
basically, and they like to just do whatever they want.
Yeah. Aedra are the good gods, and Daedra are the bad gods. That's a very, very simplified.
Yeah, a very simplified version of what they are. I can. You can also see now that you're trying to catch up with Maik.
Yeah, as you can see on my screen, Mike is fast as fuck.
Yes, we are nearing the end as
we're
well.
nearing-
But
no.
no, not quite there yet. Like a few more minutes, but
Yeah.
still.
So quickly, every Elder Scrolls had a Daedra behind it,
Mm.
and Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna have someone. From the previous games, there were always 2 big DLCs, and oh, Mike is Pete. Yeah, he
Yeah.
is Pete. There were 2 DLCs, each of which had a Daedra behind it also.
Yes.
The only Daedras that didn't have like a big player, not
No,
like
a big story
influence,
focus. Yeah.
yeah, were Nocturnal, which is somewhat present in Elder Scrolls Online in one quest,
Yeah.
one quest line, and
Uh,
it what's
That-
his called? What's his name? Sanguine.
oh god, can you imagine Sanguine being the focus of the main questline though?
These are the 2 weakest Daedras, Sanguine and Perit.
Very yeah. Like the others
They
all
are-
have like their own focus in like especially Elder Scrolls Online. They're like focused on everything almost.
Absolutely. Like the thing is that everybody knows Shiogorath. He's the
Oh yeah.
Prince of Madness, the random guy, he's the most favorite Daedric prince.
Yes, and that's also because the
many people
game.
want him to be the main focus of the Elder Scrolls 6, but
I doubt it.
Also, many people are sick of him. Like,
Yeah, it's the thing is like they're it's not just a fan favorite. He's also the favorite of the developers. I mean, I think it's one of the alter egos of one of the developers.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so they're kind of like done with him in a sense
Yeah.
as well.
I don't think Molag Bal or Marin's
No,
Dagon are
I
gonna
certainly
be...
hope not, because Molag Bal has gotten too much focus.
Molag Bal has got a lot.
Maroon's Dagon even more so.
He's boring. He's boring. He's so boring.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but like Maroon's Dagon already had 2 games focused in. Battlespire also focused on Maroon's Dagon, so
Yeah, and Oblivion, the entirety of Oblivion was around Marin's Dagon, and
yeah,
he is just lava and fire.
change, destruction, you know.
Yeah, it's so fucking boring. So some Daedras like Mephala would be somewhat cool, but
Yeah.
there is a lot of people that have arachnophobia. And
Yeah,
many people didn't play Skyrim because in the tutorial you have to deal with spiders.
very true, very true.
I'm not kidding. Some people actually play through Skyrim because there were some spiders. Imagine if the main bad guy was a giant spider queen.
Yeah, it's probably not very attractive. Finally, I do want to say right before the end. So Parit is currently a Daedric Prince of Order, but Order through like disease and whatnot. And with the return of Jigalac after the Shivering Isles DLC, that could also be another focus for the story. You know, a combination of Jigalac versus Parit, right?
That's a thing I wanted to talk about too. That I think Jigalac is gonna play a big role in Elder Scrolls 6.
I would
one way
certainly
or
hope
the
so.
other.
I want to see him. Like
Yeah.
he has enough time to recover by now. Come on.
Even if it wasn't in the main questline, I think at least a DLC could be about Jigalac.
Yeah, no, exactly. All right, that's the end of our stream. I think
Yes.
my video is about to end as well, so perfectly timed.
Yeah, you're just saving and quitting. So
Yeah, exactly. So thank you very much for watching. Yes, the next podcasts are on Saturdays. So feel free to ask questions. You can actually leave some questions in the suggestion box that you can see in on my account, on my Twitch account, like in my about, or because you're also on the Discord, you can also ask me there. And I will upload this whole podcast on YouTube, so you can rewatch it at any time as well.
In the future,
Yeah.
we hit the 10th episode. We are gonna strip the YouTube videos of. We're just gonna make audio files and then upload them to Spotify or some other
Yes.
streaming service. Because this is supposed to be a podcast.
Yes. Exactly. So let's make it an actual podcast. Let's see, for the next episode, we haven't gotten anything specifically yet, but considering I've heard some requests about people who want to get into the Elder Scrolls lore, so we could make a video about like just the basics of Elder Scrolls. But I'm not sure if you got any good ideas.
We absolutely have to finish my eek.
Oh yeah, we have to finish
So-
my eek. That's also true.
Yeah.
So we can also talk.
The basic Elder Scrolls lore. After the next one, because we really need to finish the thing.
Maik. So this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna next one is gonna be Maik, and then the week after we're going to start some basic Elder Scrolls lore.
We're gonna do the beginner's tutorial, the beginner's guide to Elder Scrolls.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, that's a good way to end things. Thank you for listening, and yeah, you got some closing words, Tom?
Don't deal with the Daedras. Don't do drugs, and if you do drugs, do them with a friend.
Yes, preferably a Khajiit friend. They love it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all for watching, and see you next week.
Yeah. Thank you, Maxamac, for participation.
Yes. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.